S. My name is Clay Clark. I'm the former United States Small Business Administration Entrepreneur of the Year. I am a partner, founder, investor with Elephant in the Room Men's Grooming Lounge, Epic Photography, the Make Your Life Epic Consulting. It's a massive PR and marketing firm, and I am the founder of Thrive15.com, the world's best business school. And so that's why I have the financial freedom and time freedom needed to do a radio show such as this. And my whole goal is to help you start and grow a successful business. And so normally I have a co-host on the show named Dr. Robert Zellner. And this guy is an optometrist who really is he's an entrepreneur. He went from being an optometrist to an entrepreneur. I mean, he went from being the optometrist guy to a guy who now owns an auto auction. He's largely invested in a bank. He owns a thoroughbred horse racing facility or horse breeding facility, etc. He owns A to Z Medical. He owns a sleep center. I mean, I go on and on. But the thing is, the guy has the Midas touch. He knows how to start and grow a successful business, and he's normally with me. But today, he's out of the country. He's expanding his vast entrepreneurial empire, and so we look to the left, and we look to the right, and we look down. We were looking for a great person to fill in on the show, and we found him. We found Anthony Vendetti with Production Services, a helicopter company. And Anthony, you're doing holiday light tours. Is that right?
That is correct.
So talk to us. We always like to encourage people to check out our sponsors. And you guys are a great team there. If someone's listening right now, for $30, what are they going to, I mean, for $30, someone can get up in the air and do a helicopter tour. Why would they want to do a tour? Why would someone want to invest $30 and go up in the air and do a helicopter tour? Why would they want to do it?
Because it is a spectacular view to see Christmas lights from the air. It's like nothing that you've ever seen before. It's not like the driving around with mom and dad back in the day. Looking at Christmas lights. This is the new way to do it.
So it's not like a deal where you're in the car back in the day and your dad's going, "Look over there. That looks like it's a light." No, that's not a light at all. Looks like someone just left their garage open. Oh, okay. I mean, this is a real deal. You're flying above Rama.
We are flying above Rama.
This is awesome. And for someone listening again, they're going, when you say it's $30, is it really $30, or is it like $30, like a third of the down payment, or what does it really cost?
It is really $30. You go to the website, or you come by and see us at 101st Memorial. You pay the $30. You get on the helicopter, you go for a ride.
Oh, it's so beautiful. That's what makes me proud to be an American right there. It's just beautiful. You're not going to do a helicopter light tour in a communist country. No, you're not going to do that in North Korea. No, you got to do it in America, okay? So today we're talking about how to create a remarkable customer service experience. We're specifically focusing on the 5 S's. S1, make a checklist for the smells. Make sure your office has an intentional smell. Make a checklist? I just want my team to remember. That's dumb. Step number 2, sites. I gotta make a checklist for my sites? What do you mean, my sites? Your decor. One of the clients we work with is called Barbie Cookies. You ever been to Barbie Cookies? You ever been there?
No.
Brother, you've got to go to Barbie Cookies. Barbie Cookies, it's over there at 85th and Memorial on the east side of the road. Do you have any kids?
I do. I have 3 daughters.
Okay, you go in there, and whatever the bill is, I'll reimburse you. And by the way, it's the first time you go in, it's free first cookie. So if you get like 27 cookies, maybe we'll have to talk. But I'll reimburse you for anything you buy after the first cookie. But the first cookie, seriously, it's free for your first cookie. Just tell them it's the first time you've been in there. They give you a free cookie. And by the way, for all the listeners, if you're listening right now, for all the listeners of the Thrive Time Show, your first cookie is $1. And these are game-changing gourmet cookies. But you go in there, and they have a decor, and they've invested the time to make the ambiance. Anthony, I want to ask you, do you ever go to Starbucks?
All the time.
Can you describe for people who maybe are from another planet, who haven't been into a Starbucks recently, what does that decor look like? Or what about it appeals to you? Why go to Starbucks and not just go to the place where you get a little styrofoam cup of coffee and maybe it's a fourth of the price and it's kind of nasty decor? Why invest in Starbucks?
When I walk in, it's the smell that hits me is just out of this world amazing.
And check it out. When you read the book, Pour Your Heart Into It by Howard Schultz, he explains you're not paying for the coffee, you're paying for the atmosphere. Check it out. Remember when coffee, you and I are old enough to remember when coffee, every coffee shop, it was like in a styrofoam cup, and they were like 99 cents.
Yes, I do.
And now it's like $4 for a Frappuccino latte with I want a soy Frappuccino with a little whip it's like people have like a science project now when they order, but people go into Starbucks and they have these specialized drinks. It's just a phenomenal experience, okay? But the 5 S's: 1, it's the smells; 2, it's the sights; 3, it's the sounds; 4, it's the scripting and the interaction. You've got to make a script. Thrivers, work with me. You've got to write a script. This is one thing I learned from Lee Cockerell, one of my mentors back in the day. This guy used to manage Walt Disney World Resorts, and he said, listen, you've got to be your own Shakespeare. And I'm going, for thou what? And he goes, no, seriously, you have to be your own Shakespeare. I say, so thouest Lee Cockerell? What? No, he says, listen, seriously, I want you to pay attention. I want you to script out when someone walks through the door, what do you say? When you answer the phone, what do you say? When they walk in, what do they experience? What do the walls look like? What does the smell look like? What does the atmosphere look like? What is the experience of the customer? And we took all of that knowledge, all that thought, all that mojo, all that Disney swag, we brought it into our businesses. So when you go into the Thrive15.com world headquarters on the left coast of the Arkansas River, you will come in and you will experience an atmosphere that's intentional. The temperature, it's always 60 degrees in here. Always 60. You notice that, Sam? It's always 60. Why? Because people are more awake. It always smells a certain way. It looks a certain way. The overhead music's a certain way. When we come back, Thrivers, we're going to teach you more about making an amazing customer service experience. All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to your inspiration station. My name is Clay Clark. I'm the former SBA Entrepreneur of the Year, and I'm here joining you today talking about how to take your customer service experience to the next level. And we always have special local Oklahomies, local Tulsa guests, and today we brought on Anthony Vendetti. He works with Production Services, which they do holiday light tours, okay, that you get up in a helicopter. A helicopter. A helicopter? You mean like in the air? Yeah, in the air. A helicopter. He gives you tours all over Tulsa. Anthony, for anyone just listening, for anyone just tuning in, why does everybody owe it to themselves this holiday season to take a holiday light tour? Why do they need to do it?
Again, it's one of those spectacular moments you can't get anywhere else. It's great for first dates, long dates, husband and wife, proposing. It's just a spectacular event to do with a loved one.
And I'm going to pile on, it's affordable.
Absolutely.
It's like $30 and you're up in the air, man.
$30 will get you up in the air. 30
and you could be a hero. You see what I did right there?
I like
30 and you could be a hero. Up in the air like you just don't care. Get up there. Go to xmasflights.biz. 30, you could be a hero. I'm telling you. Now, here's the deal, Thrivers. We're talking about how to make a remarkable customer service experience in the 5 S's. S1, make a smell, an intentional smell, a smell checklist. Think about the smell of your office. Think about the smell you're looking for. Make a checklist. How should your office smell? And this is one question I'd ask you right now. If you're listening right now and you're a man entrepreneur, ask yourself this question. What the smell is going on in my business? And if you don't have an intentional smell, not good. So you got to make sure you have an intentional smell. Point number 2, sights. Make sure the visuals are on point. Have nice framed images or have an intentional wall. Have like barn wood. Have some kind of decor that makes sense. Don't just... Have you ever been to the DMV before, Anthony?
I have.
I'm sure there's one that you go to that has great decor and one that's awesome that I don't know about. But the one that I've been to a lot, it seems like it's from like a science experiment from the 70s where the experiment was, what we'll do is we're not going to do any updates since 1970. We're going to put in some really crappy tiles, some nasty wallpaper. We're going to put in various frames that don't go together, and we're going to have a nasty bathroom, and then we're going to charge people a fee to get the license. We'll see what happens. You know, it's like, have you ever felt like you're part of a weird science experiment when you go into a DMV?
Yeah.
Do you have one you like? Do you have one you found that you're going, that one is hot. They really get it right.
Yeah, actually I have.
What's the one you like?
The one right here in Jinx.
Oh, really? So where's that located roughly?
Right on Main Street, right next door to McDonald's.
This just in, tip of the day, the angels from heaven have sang, you go to the one in Jinx, that's a nice DMV.
It is.
You're giving free tips about that kind of thing. Now, moving on, move number 3 here, okay? Get the sights, get the sounds. You've got to get the sound, the ambiance, the overhead music. Get it right. Get the overhead music that is appropriate for your audience. Point number 4 is scripting. Okay? This is a notable quotable from Walt Disney. He says, if you can dream it, you can do it. But the way to get started, check it out. But the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. You mean I have to quit talking and start doing? Yes. You mean now? Yes. Now, after the show, but now, yes, you want to make sure that you quit talking and you want to get doing. He says, all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. So you've got to go ahead and script out. When someone answers the phone, how's it going to sound? When they greet someone at the door, how's it going to happen? What's the atmosphere? What's the temperature of the building? What's the decor? What's the atmosphere? What's the music? What's the smell? What's the culture? What's the deal? Okay? You got to think about all that, put it on a checklist, and make sure it happens every day. By the way, you're going to have to fight with your team sometimes to make it happen. My team's always like, can we make it 75 in here? No. Why? Because we have a consulting company, and we want to create an upbeat atmosphere. It's always going to be 60. But I'm cold. Get a blanket. You ever been here and seen people with blankets?
I don't think I have.
There's always somebody with blankets. Sam, you've seen the blankets. Okay, but our show producer's seeing people with blankets. They're always running around here with the blankets. But the thing is, if you go to a movie theater, why is it so cold? They're trying to keep you awake. So you got to think about that, Thrivers. Now, the final S is signage. If you go into Whole Foods, they've got signage. You can't miss the special on the Angus or the avocados. Whole Foods is probably the best signage I've ever seen. They've got great signage everywhere. I mean, it's awesome. Second best signage I've ever seen, Starbucks. Those guys, they have signage everywhere. They have really beautiful decor and presentation. It makes you want to have the beverage. Sometimes I see a sign, and I'm like, I'm trying to lose a lot of weight right now, just trying to eat healthy. And then I see it, I'm like, the Frappuccino with the chocolate drizzle, that seems like low calorie, right? And then so next thing you know, you're ordering stuff you didn't even want because the signage is so good. And that third is Jackie Cooper. Jackie Cooper, they make you want that Mercedes, baby. You go in there, they got the signage, and you're just going, man, if I drove home with that car, I would feel like $1 million. It's the signage. Now, I want to ask you, Anthony, if somebody's listening right now and they want to take a light tour, they're convinced, okay, I'm going to do it. Where do they physically drive out to? How do they get out to you, man?
We are located at 101st and Memorial, just east of the Walgreens right there.
And what is the name of your website? How can they learn more about your holiday light tours?
It is www.xmasflights.biz.
I've got some logistical questions that I basically want to get into a few logistical questions. Okay, so here we go. Question number 1. What time could I fly? Can I fly in the morning? Do I have to fly at night? What time can I fly? Boom.
All of our Christmas light tours start at 6 o'clock in the evening and usually run through 10 o'clock at night, 7 days a week.
So let's say that I'll choose one of those 7 days. I'll play a game. I'll do it. So how many people can fit into the helicopter?
The Jet Ranger that we use, it will hold 4 people plus the pilot.
What if I'm bringing my friend, and my friend he weighs about 5 bills, and then I've got a bunch of linebackers that I know from college. We're all going to get in there together. How many people can we get in that are, let's say larger people?
Larger people, we just have to do that on an as-is basis. Sometimes we have to set them opposite of the pilot for the weight and balance part of it. But that kind of thing. But we also do have what we call a Long Ranger, and it will hold 5 people. 6 people plus the pilot.
What if I'm a father and I've got my wife, I've got my 5 kids, so it's 7 of us. Can we fit in anything?
Depending on how big some of your kids are.
We got some small kids, very small kids. I don't feed them. I save money.
If you have, a child that's under a year old or maybe a year old that's smaller, yes, it's 6 people plus the pilot, but there are little kids that we can set on your lap and still seatbelt them in.
Final question I have logistically. You know how some motorcycles, they have a sidecar. That's a sidecar off to the side of the motorcycle. You can ride in the car next to the motorcycle. Do you ever have like a sidecar where you could ride underneath the helicopter like in a hammock and just kind of swing like in one of those action movies? Can I do that?
We don't necessarily, but I'm sure we could work something out.
Okay. But Thrivers, listen, if you want to check it out, what website can they go to learn more?
That is www.xmasflights.biz.
Now, Thrivers, when you try to implement these systems, you try to get that signage up, it can be frustrating. Because let me tell you what, everybody has they're marching to the beat of their own drum. Teammates don't want to cooperate. They don't want to do stuff. It can be frustrating, okay? but you've got to get that signage right. You've got to make it so people can see you. They have to be able to find you. What kind of signage can they find, or what kind